Hey, I'm Jonathan, and I am an American, and I would like to apologize to the people of El Salvador for what my nation did to you 30 years ago. My nation, the United States of America, suppressed democracy and supported massacres 30 years ago against your women and children, and the main victims were peasants. And I, as an American, feel bad for murdering 80,000 Salvadorians because my government did that. My government murdered 80,000 innocent civilians in El Salvador 30 years ago because, well, during the 1970s, I'm aware that in your country, El Salvador, there were democratic organizations forming to help workers and farmers and local communities, and even Bible study groups were forming to help El Salvadorans or Salvadorians, whatever you call yourselves, have a better life. And this was an amazing, people had an amazing future and hope for your nation in the 1970s, but this threatened, I know that this threatened U.S. business interests because U.S. companies preferred stealing your resources and stealing your money you earned for yourselves. Apparently, we as Americans really loved our bananas and coffee, and the money we earned from the bananas and coffee you grew, and you grew for yourselves. And my nation wanted to steal all your work and steal all your bananas and coffee. So the U.S. trained paramilitary groups to murder and massacre thousands of your people. And we funded and supported a war of aggression against Salvadorians. And I take full responsibility for that, because we had actually targeted religious leaders. The U.S. helped assassinate your Archbishop, Oscar Romero, and because we trained at the School of Americas in Fort Benning in Georgia, we trained these soldiers to massacre your people and to massacre, like, even 4 American nuns were murdered by my nation, 4 American nuns that were living in your country. Even Jesuit priests were murdered. Like, religious leaders were targeted by my country. And so I take full responsibility for that. For the 80,000 Salvadorians that were murdered by my country, I am so sorry for what I, as an American, did to you 30 years ago. All the children in El Salvador back then that were dragged through barbed wire, I did that to you because I'm an American. And the old men that were decapitated and their heads put on pikes in El Salvador, I take full responsibility for that. I feel bad for what I did. And all the women that were raped in El Salvador, and all the young boys that had their genitalia cut off and stuffed in their mouths, all these massacres and tortures, supported by my country because we preferred U.S. business. We preferred stealing your money over democracy in El Salvador. And I feel awful for what I did as an American to your country. And I want to say how sorry I am, because those were my tax dollars that supported that, and those are my political leaders that supported that. I want to say how sorry I am for what I did to your country. That is my fault, and I take full responsibility for that, and I ask you to forgive me. But I want to say I love you. I love the people of El Salvador. And it's sad that today, as a result of what my nation did to you, you've lost your passion for democracy and your passion for activism. And I'm sorry for what I did to you. But I love you, and you're awesome. Bye.